Hello and welcome to episode 22 of SAAB Fever. My name is Frank, and in today's episode, for a change, we actually have a product review. Some of you may have seen this advertised on Facebook groups already. It's a rather ingenious little cup holder designed for the 9.5. It replaces the coin holder in the center console. I'm sure somebody out there uses the coin holder, but I honestly don't think I've ever used it. I think it's one of those things that SAAB just had a bit of extra space near the armrest and felt they needed to do something with it. All too often, the coin holders, which are roughly the shape of the top here, they pop off over time. I've seen cars with them missing completely. They're just not great. It's kind of pointless in a way. Especially with the price of car parks these days. I think they only hold about 5 coins or something, maybe 6. You might not even have enough change there to actually pay for a decent amount of time in a car park these days. Of course, many of them are going card now or contactless. So that becomes a sort of a legacy component of the car, kind of showing their age there, really. But anyway, back to the actual product review. As you can possibly tell from parts of it, I can get it up close enough and in focus. There we go. It is 3D printed. It looks like it's made from a few parts. Looks like this is a part, so is that. Now the top, the entire thing is 3D printed as well. It's got a lovely finish to it. I really like what they've done there. We of course have the Griffin head logo printed. That's not printed on. That's basically a white 3D print. That lovely finish on that. I really do like that. The top part appears to be glued or epoxied on. It's mostly plastic with some metal pins and stuff in it. There's the contact details. I'll put a link in the description how to contact them. Also a link to their Facebook page. Okay. The guys that have done it are based in Sweden, and you can tell a lot of thought has gone into this thing. When I first got it, I kind of wondered if it was broken or something, to be honest, because I was pressing on the front and nothing happens. Absolutely nothing. It turns out you have to press down here at the bottom. I'll show you why later on as well. But if we open it, there we go. Look at that. Obviously, it goes in the center armrest. Your armrest is up here, so replacing the coin holder. Handbrakes over here. Window switches are down here. I'll go through the installation in a sec. I've been playing with this thing all night. It's fantastic. Just look at that. The design, the thought that's gone into this thing is fantastic. That's just... It would appear this just flicks out to hold the back of the cup or can. The front is quite a stiff, well, 2 springs. 2 stiff springs there is what hold your cans in. I do believe I have one here. Let's have a look. Soft drink of choice. There we go. You can see it's quite solid. One thing I have noticed, there is a little bit of play in the mechanism itself. Nothing drastic. Obviously, it needs free movement to slide in and out. If we put... the can itself is held in absolutely solidly. A bit of wobble there, but of course I'm trying. In general use, it's quite front heavy there. In general use, I would imagine there's actually more wobble coming from the mechanism itself than the actual can holder. If for some reason you drive on the side, it's holding it well enough. Other side. Yeah. If you drive down a really steep hill. Yeah. Driving up a really steep hill. Yeah, absolutely fine, look. So yeah, it's fantastic. Honestly, I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. So, what can I say? What can I say? I need to go and install it in the car. I need to pick a car. What car should I put it in? I suppose I can put it in the Project 9.5 because I'm planning on driving that next week anyway. Let's have a good look at that. Close up of the mechanism before I do. Lovely. And you can see here if I zoom in and focus perhaps. There we go. You can see as it closes. There we go. So it's released and closed from the bottom. Absolutely solid. I don't think that's going to rattle around in the car or anything. Lovely. So yeah, I will see you out in the car in a sec, and we will install a 5th cup holder into the 9.5. See you in a sec. Before we get too carried away though with the installation of the new cup holder, I would like to take a moment to talk about the 9.5's existing provision. As many of you know, as standard we have 3 cup holders. This is the one for the rear passengers. It's pretty standard, nothing particularly special. I think I prefer the location of the one in the new 9.3. It's down here. For any of you that have, say, 3 kids, having the 3rd child in the middle renders this useless. And of course, 2 cup holders do not divide well between 3 kids. However, it is perfectly capable. That's one passenger sorted. And the other. Of course, the front passenger doesn't actually fare very well. The main cup holder that we all know and love is actually for the driver. SAAB did actually account for this, though. There was an optional extra available as an extra cup holder that hides here in the armrest. I'm not entirely sure if it was very popular or if many people even had it, to be honest, but it is available. All of which brings us to the installation of the 5th cup holder in this car. So let's crack on, shall we? Step 1 is obviously to remove the otherwise useless coin holder. On this car, I mean, it holds in quite firmly by itself, but it still pops out quite easily. And as I've said before, on some of them I've seen, you could just look at them funny and they'll come out. So I'm just going to use my hands to pick it out. There we go. Don't need that anymore. Next step, we need to pop this out. Now, SAAB have provided a small latch here that you can put a flathead screwdriver in. But with the coin holder out the way, it's easier just to reach in and use your fingers to pop it up. And there we go. From here, because of the angles involved, you can see here all the wires run towards the back of the car. And that would interfere with the location of this when it's inside. So, pair of snips. Ever so carefully, make sure you cut the zip tie and not any of the wires. There's that. And now we can simply pull the wires back slightly. They're quite stiff, they're quite thick wires. I'm now going to place the new cup holder in. It's going to be quite a tight fit in comparison to the old coin holder though. There we go. Nice and solid. As I said, pull the wires to the side. There we go. Everything's installed. Well, I suppose there's nothing left to do now but enjoy it all. Here's the first can to try. Nice and straightforward. As I said before, good enough hold. There is a bit of play in the mechanism itself, but not dreadful. And the cans themselves are held in perfectly fine. On the front, and there is a bit more movement to the inbuilt one. I'm not going to bother doing a harsh braking test. The guys have got that covered already, and I can tell it's pretty solid, really. Certainly in the sort of back to front direction anyway, even if there is a bit of wobble side to side. And let's not forget the optional one. So there we go. This car now has 5 cup holders. But let's see how well it does with other cans and bottles. First up, we're going to try this bottle. Now, I'm sorry to say, with the shape of this bottle, it really doesn't handle this particular thing very well at all. Let's see if the proper one can handle it any better. No, not at all. Possibly worse, to be honest. The shape of this bottle really isn't a good thing for these at all. Now, one problem I can foresee, however, is the ergonomics of it. Quite simply, where it's located to the driver. I imagine this will affect right-hand drive cars more than lefts, and in particular manuals as opposed to automatics. This car I'm in at the moment is an automatic, so for the most part you whack it in drive and you drive along, it's fine. You have easy enough access to both the key and the handbrake, not a problem, even with the key in. As for standard driving, whether you're a bit lazy and you drive along resting one arm and the other hand on the wheel, or if you're more sensible and both hands on the wheel, it really won't interfere. However, in a manual, I'm going to be trying to use this area a lot to change gear. If this was resting here, yeah, it's not ideal. I believe that the layout here is identical, in fact, for left-hand drive, so those drivers probably get away with it a bit more. All in all, though, I do think this is a wonderful product. It fits in very nicely with the car. It's a shame it's not quite the same colour, but the big Griffin logo is a lovely addition, and it would be very easy to get used to it. So, for my very first ever product review, this is definitely getting a thumbs up from me. As always, thanks for watching.